The European Commission is seeking alternative sources of liquidity to provide Ukraine with a reparations loan in case the frozen assets have to be returned to the Central Bank of Russia. This was stated by the European Commission's chief spokesperson, Paula Pinho, against the backdrop of the European Central Bank's refusal to provide funds for payments to Ukraine.
Ensuring the necessary liquidity for potential obligations to return assets to the Russian Central Bank in this case is an important element of the reparations loan. This is a mandatory condition to ensure that the EU, its member states, and private entities can always fulfill their international obligations.
The day before, the European Central Bank refused to provide guarantees for a reparations loan to Ukraine in the amount of 140 billion euros, which was supposed to be secured by frozen Russian assets. According to the Financial Times, this decision is based on the conclusion that the European Commission's proposal goes beyond the bank's mandate. It is noted that EU countries must provide state guarantees in order to distribute the risk of repayment of the reparations loan. However, according to representatives of the European Commission, member states will not be able to quickly raise the necessary funds. Belgium is opposed to using frozen Russian assets for a loan to Ukraine. As Belgian Prime Minister Bart De Wever stated, the scheme of providing Ukraine with reparations loans using frozen Russian assets is fundamentally flawed from the outset. According to him, the EU's plan to use frozen Russian assets to finance Ukraine could jeopardize the chances of reaching a potential peace agreement. The Belgian Prime Minister stated,
"With this proposal, we would not only violate a fundamental principle of international law, but also further create uncertainty and fear in international financial markets, where trust is a key element."
EU diplomats believe that Belgium may be profiting from Russian assets. According to Politico, European Union countries are putting increasing pressure on Belgium, demanding an explanation of what it is doing with the tax revenues. According to the publication, 5 diplomats from different European countries have complained that Belgium has a hidden motivation since these assets generate tax income. Belgium itself insists that it is not violating any rules. Diplomats warn that if Belgium continues to block the transfer of frozen funds to Ukraine, by the time of the EU summit, more and more countries will be questioning whether Belgium is profiting from these taxes and delaying payments to Kyiv. Earlier, Politico reported that the US allegedly wants to return Russia's frozen assets after a peace agreement. At the same time, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen continued to promote the idea of using these assets to finance Ukraine. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz holds the same opinion. He supported the European Commission's proposal to continue holding Russian funds and emphasized that it fully complies with EU international law. According to him, the assets of the Russian Central Bank will remain frozen until Russia compensates Ukraine for the damage caused by the war.